И еще одна тема нашего подкаста.
And another topic of our podcast, which I think is of interest for many people, is AI for creativity. Creativity is something that distinguished humans from anyone else, but how can AI help to create? Maybe AI can create by itself. Well, still supervised by humans, but anyway, we're going to dive deep into that topic with Vladimir Sinitsyn, the operations director of Ben Education School of Design and Technology, and Olga Chuvorkina, the academician director of the Synchronize platform. Hi, everyone. So, AI, as all other technologies, they serve the art. They serve the art, not threaten the art. I think, that's the story that all the art experts hate. I hate this question as well, but it's interesting to discuss that. What is art? What is creativity? What is art and what is artisanship? It is art is about creation or about artisanship. I think these are great questions, but we have to delineate them. These are two questions. Now, AI. First question, AI is a part of the process of the art that art lives with. I mean, art has always been used in different technologies. In 19th century, the paint was put in tubes, and that was a new technology. It's hard to really compare it to AI, but it helped the Impressionists to actually create their art. And this AI helps artists to create as well. Whether AI generated 80% or 100% of an artwork, or it was just used for the draft of the artwork, this is just a technology anyway. Another question was, so AI is an assistant, as a tool. We understand that. That's okay. But when a neural network generates, based on some pool of data, some artwork, some poem, is it creativity? Is it art? Well, art is now quite a broad definition, so there's quite a lot of things included there. But I like to compare the AI-generated work with the painters of the Academy of the 19th century. Now, Academy science artists, these were the ones who were taught in the Academy of Art from 16th century to 19th century. So the difference between 16th and 19th century, these are like hundreds of years. Napoleon attacked Russia, Russians then attacked back, like there was Freud. There was no Freud back then, but I mean, what do Academy artists paint? Venera or Apollo. And they compile the kind of a new Venera, kind of a new Apollo, by going to the museums and looking at the artwork of previous painters. Currently, AI works on the database selected by humans, and the more interesting the database, the more interesting the result is. And that means that the AI compiles the picture based on that. Now, what is art? I think it's 20th century. Many artists were talking about that, but I think the overarching thing was when Duchamp asked, what is a science? A urinator of was an artwork, became an artwork. Art has an idea has a subject, has a scenario, and then the way to implement the scenario, whether it's happening on performance, on installation, or some paint on the canvas. And if we're talking about ideas, currently there are no ideas behind AI. I can create artwork, but there are no other ideas behind that. Vladimir, question to you. AI can create ideas. Is it possible? Is it true? Well, yeah, based on the database of other ideas, and based on ML and self-training, AI can generate an idea. I want to paint the purple sunrise. It's not an idea. Why? No, there's no message there. It's not an idea. An idea is something deep that you transfer through the violet sunrise. It's mimesis. That's what it's called. It's when you try to copy. Copying is an idea globally, but it's not an idea in this classical sense of the word. It's not a new idea. Many speakers are claiming the floor. Yeah, anyway, we are trying to understand every word, and if we look at social issues, then we will understand that ideas have many semantical definitions, but the object is created by people, and value of the object is created by people. As we live in the world where people are living and breathing and walking around, and there is some understandable financial model of economy, this is the model we live in. And the AI is not creating anything from the scratch. I think we will dive in very deep. I'll just ask you whether a person creates an original idea, because you use that a lot of ideas and put in all the experiences that you have in your artwork. So isn't that the same? AI is something a bit more difficult. If you talk about stable diffusion, AI journey, or Kandinsky, Sber, NN, but this is a neural-based mechanics. What is a prompt? A prompt is a pattern. This is a kind of a visibility. This is your visual experience of a human. So there are prompts, anti-prompts, and other characteristics and other parameters. If you don't know that, if you don't know that vision, if you don't know that don't have that visual experience, because there is a brush, there is a prompt. You have to package it properly. But what is the value of that action? It's obviously different. I've always said that it's very hard to... It's easy to repeat a prompt. It's very hard to repeat the brush stroke of a master. And now we're living in the world where if you want to put the same prompt and continue with the idea, the neural network cannot deliver that on the level necessary. Your idea is limited by the moment that was analyzed and visualized for you. And you generate that, you amend, you adjust, until you find the moment that you think is like your moment. But the visual aspect has a very, very strong influence on the person, and that might lead us to a concern of social identity. Is it your idea, or is it the image of the analytical thinking, or some duplications that AI is based on? I think that until we go to the philosophy or the Germanatics, I think that I would like to talk about the applications. Now, we've mentioned that AI is a tool that helps creators, so that's working. My friend is a writer, and he said that I prompt something and I have some response. It's a great thing to debate, actually. Actually, me and my friend, we were also kind of putting prompts to each other to describe the prompts, and we received some of the answers that were very funny. But anyway, if we're talking about the real creators right now, what does AI give us? We're looking at the paradigm that AI is the automation tool for or a manual task. Like, for example, there is an element of AI that helps to quickly create something on some level, but like the planner, but to resolve a business task, you need to polish it up to the value that is needed to make sure that this is a planner that gives value to the business, to the client. And in this way, AI can be used. If you live in the paradigm that AI is the tool that can use our prompt, and I take this and deliver that, and I don't have any background to assess the quality of that work, that's a bad approach, because with that approach, you have to understand that there are thousands of experts like that on the market. Hundreds of thousands of people can do that. If we're talking about experts, where AI is used to resolve tasks, not to create, and these are two different paradigms. This is an automation tool that help to move to some objects, to some ideas, to primitivism. Haladova is a famous NFT artist, and he's basically working with the AI with NNs, and he has a big team. They write an algorithm, it analyzes database, and then you have a media installation. The unmanageable, uncontrolled machine hallucination, that's his latest installation. And he's exploring the world, the creativity. What is creativity? I'm looking at the glass of water, and I have some idea. And the idea is whether a machine can have the same associations, replicate the same associations that humans can do. And he put this in 138,000 artwork from the museums of modern arts in this NN. And actually what we had is some abstract art. So yes, NN AI works based on the logic. And this is they deliver very obvious results. Now, we could have had something different, but can you assess that, like, this abstraction, abstract art is a long chain of human associations? But you know that there were many experiments that AI artwork were painted by AI, and experts were finding some parts of this artwork that was not replicated. So can you actually understand that this idea is unique, that AI-generated artwork is actually unique? Well, we're not talking about the fact that, okay, we're saying that this was created by a human, this was created by AI, that AI is bad, human is good. No. When an expert looks at an artwork, he thinks, okay, this artwork has a interior function, really. This conceptual art, when idea is important, you can put a spade in the corner, and that will be it, but there will be some idea behind it, maybe. And the second art is kind of a, decoration, interior art. You look at the artwork and you think, that's great, I'm going to put it in hang it on my wall. So, who created that? Some Jane Doe or Hearst or Misha Moss created that, whoever, or AI. You look at you have one criterion and you look at the artwork from that angle. So, is there anyone who put some sense in this artwork? Well, okay, we say that humans can put sense in the artwork, and AI cannot do that as of now. But you think that at some point AI will be able to generate some sense from that on this or that level. But it's like, if you look at these Soviet magazines when the cars will be where the cars are flying. But the cars are not flying yet, So the value and the cost is very important. So the person is the kind of a soul, and he translates what his experiences and his experience. If there will be like a mid-journey 2.0 with the artwork, and it will be artwork generator, and it will be created by some famous artist. And it will be said, okay, this was created with Photoshop, with Midjourney, with ChatGPT, but it was inspired by this or that artist. The idea, and the soul is taken from this artist. Actually, we are analyzing right now within a certain paradigm. We are in our value system, and there is a value of attention, the value of the artist. That's the value of perception. So it really defines how it is perceived and who is going to do that. Yeah, and the value of idea and the innovation. So if I paint a black triangle, you would say, well, that's a fake Malevich thing. So we don't need that, but there was a time when compilation, when duplication, repetition was the criterion for assessment, and when the idea was actually put aside, when Rembrandt made the revolution and started to put psychology in his portraits. Like you can see the state, you can see the emotions, even when looking at the hands he painted, and you can empathize. And the artist of that time said, why do we need that psychology here? Why do we need all that emotions? I'm standing here, I'm very beautiful with a beautiful dress. Why do you need to reflect these wrinkles and emotions? No, let's go back to the previous art that kind of put the ideal picture. And that was a revolution for us. And we say Rembrandt, wow, fantastic. But he was not liked because of that, because the criteria for assessment were different. Currently, AI cannot do that. It cannot create new Malevich. It can use new Andrian or Rodko Bosco or Kandinsky. But maybe we'll go to another age where the criteria for the assessment will change. We won't need idea, perhaps. Maybe the compilation, the duplication will be the next big thing. But if you can replicate in a better way, that's it. That'll be great. Fantastic. I like your monetary focused approach. If you sell it, it's good. You know, the black square. And, you know, this old joke, I can pay the same black square, but can you sell it, you know? And I know that some of the AI-generated artwork is being sold as an artwork, as creative work. So who is the seller? Yeah, there was an example, by the way, yeah? Yeah, 2018, Christie's auction. The first AI-generated artwork was sold, fully AI-generated, but, I mean, obviously there was a team of young French artists who took the portrait of Edmond Dellamy and loaded it in the AI. But it was not just an algorithm, it was a special algorithm. There were two neural networks that competed with each other. One NN offered the work, the other NN criticized it, and this was kind of an adversarial environment, and this is how this portrait was created. But they were not using the only algorithm, they were using many algorithms, and they selected the one, and they sold it for a lot of money.
400,000 K. $400,000. That's a good amount. Not millions. Well, it's a good piece of art costs millions, but it's still pretty expensive. Well, since 2018, we have not seen an upswell of pieces sold of the things that were AI generated. Well, there are certain ideas. Well, it's good that there's an idea behind it. Quick question. Well, you are interested in painting. Is that complicated, the question you ask? Have you ever studied drawing? I graduated from an art school.
инструменты искусственного интеллекта,
Have you actually used AI tools to draw anything?
пробуждался у тебя под
Никогда.
давлением?
Have you experienced this creativity swelling inside you to do that? Well, education versus creativity versus AI, that's you're asking for too much. Well, if you're talking about emotion and perception of emotion, it's a different thing. If you can draw a picture with a brush, that's one emotion. If you're using prompts, that's a completely different kettle of fish.
Мне очень интересно, как они это
Well,
делают.
neural networks generating things using prompts. I'm very interested in how they do that. Well, they can use the texts. Let me just continue the thought. You can use this as a framework. You can use AI as an artist to generate an installation, a combination of colors. You can do the same thing with text. You can collect all kinds of information, succinctly present it, and the neural network is going to, well, yeah, Dumas, Alexander Dumas did that, probably. Genuine pieces of art by genuine humans will probably are probably here to stay. Will they find their buyers? And we think that AI-generated art will be also in demand. I think this is what we have right now, and it will stay. But I would not really segregate these two paradigms. The old paradigm versus the new AI-enabled paradigm. We are living in the world of collaboration. The more we can communicate with each other, with the machine, with the tool that we have, the more effective and efficient we are. Okay, there's human work on the one hand and combinatorics on the other. It's going to be one and the other and the third and the fourth. It's going to be AI asking machine to do a certain thing. We've got databases for AI generating AI, and there will be painters that had always been conservative, and they will continue to be conservative. They will say that this is my authorship, this is my conservative manner of drawing, and that's it. Will there be people still using oil paints, applying them with an oil brush? Will that be a super luxury for super rich people? Yes, but that's another revolution having to take place for that. It'll have to be a social revolution for that, and we'll have to just come on to a different level of life and transition to the online world. The world of physical assets, of physical properties, it is becoming more elitist. It is becoming more expensive, yes. Yes, and the investment advice, yes, buy. Well, as for the use of brush, let me just ask a question. There are painters using brushes, oil, and perhaps an artist that used an iPad to draw something. Is he no longer a painter? Well, he's cheaper. Well, a physical painting in the real world, no matter how it was created, was it printed out, was it given some kind of a soul as a physical property, will that remain? It will remain. It's just a matter of visual. It's all about the value. What do we place value with? Is that going to be in the name? Vasipupkin versus Kandinsky? Well, the friends will approve Kandinsky. Will they be closing their eyes to Vasipupkin? Well, okay. What's the authority going to say on this? As in, the opinion maker. I made these exhibitions, and people came and asked, has he died? Is he dead? If he is dead, I'm buying. If he is not, well, that's a good factor of value creation, is it not? AI not going to die is, if it's not dead, not too valuable. Well, that's going to be a thing for the next conferences, okay? Well, on the next conferences, we're going to be talking about baby AI generating pieces of art that will increase in value. Do you expect some kind of an upheaval in the market, in the world of art? Under the influence of these technologies, ownership, distribution, sale, influenced by technology. We have said all kinds of things. Why don't we sum up? The live human painters, will they stay? Well, they're going to flourish, but would you expect a revolution here? Or is it, you know,
становились.
paintings have been evolving, canvases have been evolving, brushes, oil has been evolving, but the revolutions have been hard-pressed to come? Or are we expecting a paradigm shift Vladimir has been calling and watch for? In any revolution, there's an instrument in conservatism and innovation. Will AI create a revolution in art? Is it going to sell in droves? Well, to a certain extent, yes, but the name is going to be as important going forward. And it's important to understand what metaverse we're talking about. Is that going to be real humans or virtual representations? That's what we are going towards, different aspects. Do you think AI is capable of creating something without humans? Invent a new style? Not so far, not yet. Do we need that? If the criteria for acceptance change, then perhaps we can just replicate, churn out and compile. AI can do these things better than humans because we cannot process 138,000 art properties, and that's just MoMA, Metropolitan Museum of Art, and in the Hermitage it's billions of items. I think the landscape of our art world has been changing, and the world of art has changed when the internet appeared, and computers appeared before that, and technologies in general, and it has continued to grow, and it will continue to grow. And because this is all an evolution, we can just get accustomed to it calmly. Do you think AI changed? Did AI change the market? Well, affordable, cheap pieces of art became available. Affordable for more people? Is that new for people? No. In the 17th century, that was an elitist business, art. Kings and emperors and Pope, they supported that. The bourgeoisie came later. It came with its own demands. It bought many new pieces. Right now, we are going lower. We are making things more affordable. Is this good or bad? There are good things and bad things to it. What's bad in everyone having the ability to be infused, inspired by the higher ideas, beautiful things? There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you will find that sufficient. And Van Gogh painting was hanging on a wall of a doctor and was closing a hole in a wall. If you want to close a hole in a wall, then maybe you want to buy a printout, and if you're really sucking it in, then you're really buying it expensively. Okay, in summation, I'm going to ask you and you. Perhaps you can name the things that scare you in the development of technologies, in the development of AI, with respect to art, and things that inspire you and make you rejoice. What I'm scared of is that many people, painters, artists included, they are scared by artificial intelligence, because if you are scared, and we've got three reactions: hit, run, freeze, and none of these reactions infuse creativity, inspire creativity. If we want to develop, if we want to look further to a brighter future, we need to exit either one of these three and understand how we can use ourselves. If I'm a painter that cannot use, if I'm an artist that can use AI, well, stop being an artist, get educated and do some real work that you can do in this real work. But these reactions, hit, run, or freeze, this is anti-life. That's what I'm scared of. What inspires me, AI has a great many positive aspects. That's a good tool, that's a good instrument for creativity, and that's a great, we've got, neuro art. This is a great instrument for people, perhaps with disabilities, to step into the world of art and not feel different, feel accepted. This allows you to be similar to everyone else. You can be equal to everyone and creating and show how you see it. That's a language for you to express yourself, because exchanging emotions, that's what differs us from machines. That's what sets us apart. And you can exchange your emotions, yes, via AI, but this is great, is it not, Vladimir? Well, I'm going to put it simply. Perhaps I'm scared not of AI per se, but of its perceptions. You know, we are living in fears. We are afraid of admitting things to ourselves. You know, this moment in the technological evolution. I'm sorry that I will not live to see the length of it, the length and breadth of it. And as for the development, it's great when you get the new tools. Because when you get things that make a certain element primitive, people start thinking about more serious things, and they stop paying more attention to simpler things. You know, any technology make more difficult things simpler, easier. And nowadays, now they are simple. Hey, friends, thank you very, very much. We need to take a breath, digest. We are going to take a pause, artificially intelligent pause, generated by Synformer neural network. The culmination of the podcast, the gripping topic, the future. We are on the threshold of breathtaking changes. Are we prepared? Talk about that in just a minute.